Good evening. In an age where grandeur often defines public perception of royalty, Prince William and Princess Catherine have quietly redefined what it means to live as modern members of the British royal family. Their Windsor residence, valued at an estimated $16 million, may sit within the historic grounds of one of the most iconic royal estates in the world, but what lies inside tells a very different story. Far from glittering chandeliers and gilded halls, the Wales family's home is a place shaped by simplicity, intention, and deeply personal choices. And among its many understated features, one hidden detail has begun to capture hearts. Not because of its luxury, but because of its meaning. When Prince William and Princess Catherine made the decision to relocate to Windsor, it was widely understood as a move centered around their children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Adelaide Cottage, their residence within the Windsor estate, is modest by royal standards. It lacks the scale of Kensington Palace or the opulence of Buckingham Palace. Instead, it offers something far more valuable: privacy, space, and a sense of normalcy. Sources close to the family describe the home as warm, lived in, and intentionally understated. It is not designed to impress visitors, it is designed to nurture a family, and that distinction defines everything within its walls. While the cottage itself is not newly built, its location within the Windsor estate contributes to its estimated value. Surrounded by expansive greenery, ancient trees, and quiet pathways, the home offers a rare blend of historical significance and natural serenity. From the outside, it maintains a traditional appearance: ivy covered walls, classic windows, and a structure that blends seamlessly into its surroundings. There are no overt signs of extravagance, but inside, the space has been carefully adapted to reflect the values of its occupants. Interior details, though rarely publicly documented, are said to reflect Princess Catherine's personal style: clean, calm, and family oriented. Neutral tones dominate the palette. Soft creams, warm grays, and natural textures create an environment that feels both elegant and approachable. Furniture is chosen not for grandeur, but for comfort. Plush sofas, well worn armchairs, and functional spaces encourage relaxation rather than formality. Children's artwork is reportedly displayed alongside framed photographs, an intentional blending of royal history and everyday family life. It feels like a home, not a museum, one insider shared. Among all these elements, one particular feature has quietly stood out: a small, personal corner of the home dedicated entirely to memories. Described by sources as a memory wall, this space is said to include handwritten notes, drawings, and simple keepsakes created by the children over the years. Unlike curated displays or formal portraits, these items are unpolished and deeply personal. A crayon drawing from Prince Louis, a handwritten note from Princess Charlotte, a school project from Prince George. Some are framed, others are simply pinned or placed casually, allowed to exist as they are without refinement. But what makes this detail especially touching is not just the presence of these items, it is their placement. The memory wall is reportedly located in a shared family area, not tucked away in a private room. It is visible, accessible, and part of daily life. This choice reflects a powerful message that these moments matter. Princess Catherine has long been an advocate for early childhood development, emphasizing the importance of emotional connection, stability, and environment. The memory wall aligns perfectly with these principles. It creates a sense of belonging, encourages self expression, and reinforces the idea that each child's voice is valued. For Prince William, who has spoken openly about the importance of family and emotional support, this feature carries additional meaning. Together, they have created a home where achievements are not measured by titles or expectations, but by moments of growth, creativity, and connection. Despite their global roles, daily life inside the Windsor home is described as surprisingly ordinary. Mornings begin with school preparations, uniforms, breakfast, and the familiar rush of getting out the door on time. Afternoons involve homework, outdoor play, and family meals. Evenings are often quiet, centered around shared activities such as reading, storytelling, or simply spending time together. The nanny plays a supportive role, but Prince William and Princess Catherine are actively involved in their children's routines. They're very hands on, a source noted. They want to be present. This presence is reflected not only in their actions, but in the environment they have created. Like many modern families, the kitchen serves as a central gathering space. Unlike formal dining rooms used for state occasions, this is where conversations happen naturally. Simple meals, casual seating, and an open layout encourage interaction. The children are reportedly encouraged to participate, helping with small tasks, learning basic skills, and sharing in the process. It is a space defined not by ceremony, but by connection. The surrounding grounds offer another layer of the home's appeal. Open spaces allow the children to explore, play, and experience nature away from public attention. Tree lined paths, gardens, and quiet corners provide opportunities for both activity and reflection. Princess Catherine, known for her appreciation of the outdoors, has emphasized the importance of nature in childhood development. The Windsor setting supports this philosophy, offering a balance between structure and freedom. Living within the Windsor estate provides a level of security and privacy that is essential for the family. At the same time, it allows them to remain connected to their royal responsibilities. The location is close enough to London for official duties, yet removed enough to create a sense of separation between public and private life. This balance is crucial, not only for logistical reasons, but for emotional well being. Historically, royal residences have been associated with grandeur and formality. They serve as symbols of heritage, power, and continuity. The Wales family's approach offers a subtle contrast. While they respect tradition, they prioritize functionality and emotional resonance. Their home is not a stage, it is a sanctuary. It and in choosing simplicity over spectacle, they are redefining what royal living can look like. As details of the Windsor home have gradually emerged, public interest has grown, not because of luxury, but because of relatability. The memory wall, in particular, has resonated widely. It reflects a universal experience, the desire to hold on to meaningful moments, to celebrate small achievements, and to create a sense of belonging. It's something any family can relate to, one observer commented. It makes them feel more human. This emotional connection is significant. It bridges the gap between public perception and private reality, offering a glimpse into a life that, despite its uniqueness, shares common ground with many. For Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, the environment in which they are raised will shape their perspectives and values. Growing up in a home that emphasizes connection, creativity, and emotional expression may influence how they approach their roles in the future. It suggests a generation that is not only aware of tradition, but also grounded in personal experience. The memory wall, simple as it may be, becomes part of that foundation. In many ways, the hidden detail within the Windsor home serves as a quiet statement, a reflection of priorities. It suggests that amidst titles, responsibilities, and public expectations, what matters most are the relationships that define a family. It is not a grand gesture, it does not seek attention, but it carries meaning. Beyond the walls of Adelaide Cottage, this story resonates on a broader level. It speaks to the importance of creating spaces that reflect values, not just appearances. It reminds us that homes are not defined by their size or cost, but by the experiences they hold. And it highlights the power of small details, the ones that often go unnoticed, yet carry the greatest emotional weight. Inside William and Kate's $16 million Windsor home, the most touching feature is not found in architecture or design, but in intention. The memory wall, simple, personal, and deeply meaningful, captures the essence of a family that values connection over presentation. It tells a story not of royalty, but of parenthood, not of status, but of love. Beyond the much talked about memory wall, there are other subtle details inside William and Catherine's Windsor home that quietly reveal the kind of life they are building, one that values meaning over magnificence. Each room, according to those familiar with the residence, carries its own story. Not in the traditional royal sense of antique collections or priceless artifacts, but in the way spaces are used, lived in, and shared. The children's rooms, for example, are said to reflect their individual personalities rather than a uniform royal aesthetic. Prince George's space reportedly includes books, maps, and structured elements that align with his thoughtful nature. Princess Charlotte's room is described as balanced between creativity and order, with hints of color and personal expression. Prince Louis, the youngest, is said to have a more playful environment, filled with toys, soft furnishings, and space to move freely. None of these spaces are overly extravagant. They are designed to grow with the children, adapting as their interests evolve. It's not about creating perfect rooms, one insider explained. It's about creating spaces where the children feel comfortable being themselves. Perhaps one of the most striking departures from traditional royal interiors is the family living area. Historically, royal drawing rooms are designed for receiving guests, formal, symmetrical, and often untouched in daily life. At Adelaide Cottage, however, the main living space serves a very different purpose. This is where the family gathers at the end of the day, where shoes may be kicked off, where cushions are slightly out of place, where laughter echoes without concern for appearance. Soft lighting replaces grand chandeliers. Blankets are draped casually over sofas. Books and games are within easy reach. It is, in every sense, a functional family room. And within that space, the memory wall quietly anchors everything, a reminder of shared experiences and growing moments. Despite their modern approach, William and Catherine have not removed the sense of royal heritage from their home. Instead, they have integrated it in a way that feels natural rather than overwhelming. A few carefully chosen pieces, perhaps a portrait, a piece of antique furniture, or a historical artifact, serve as gentle nods to the past. These items are not the focus of the home, but they are present enough to maintain a connection to history. It's a delicate balance, honoring tradition without allowing it to dominate the present. Prince William's working space within the home reflects another layer of this balance. Rather than an imposing office filled with ornate decor, his study is said to be practical and focused. Clean lines, minimal clutter, and functional design define the space. Here, official documents are reviewed, calls are taken, and decisions are considered. Yet, even this room is not entirely separate from family life. Photographs of Catherine and the children reportedly sit on his desk, small reminders that behind every royal responsibility is a personal motivation. If the home reflects structure through William's influence, it reflects warmth through Catherine's. Her attention to detail is evident in the smallest elements: fresh flowers placed thoughtfully, seasonal changes in decor, and an overall sense of harmony throughout the house. She is known to favor natural materials, wood, linen, soft fabrics that create a calming atmosphere. Nothing feels overly styled. Instead, everything feels intentional. Even the placement of the memory wall is believed to be her idea, choosing a space where it would be seen and appreciated daily. It's very much her philosophy, a source noted, to make the home feel emotionally alive. Another hidden layer of the Windsor home is not visible at all. It's the rhythm of daily life. Routine plays a significant role in how the household functions. From morning schedules to evening wind downs, there is a sense of structure that provides stability for the children. Breakfast is often shared. School runs are prioritized. Evenings are protected as family time whenever possible. This consistency creates an environment where the children know what to expect, a crucial factor in emotional development. And within that routine, the home becomes more than a place. It becomes a system of support. While shared spaces define the family's connection, quieter areas within the home offer opportunities for reflection. Small reading nooks, window side chairs, and tucked away corners allow for moments of solitude, something both William and Catherine value. These spaces are particularly important in a life that is otherwise filled with public attention. They provide a sense of retreat, a place to pause. Even the children are encouraged to use these spaces, whether for reading, drawing, or simply being still. As the story of the memory wall continues to resonate, some observers have pointed out that its true significance lies deeper than the objects themselves. It is not just about preserving drawings or notes. It is about what those items represent: time spent together, encouragement given, creativity supported, and emotions acknowledged. In many ways, the wall reflects a parenting philosophy that prioritizes presence over perfection. And that, perhaps, is why it has touched so many hearts. The contrast between the Wales family's private home and their public roles is striking. On the world stage, they represent tradition, diplomacy, and continuity. Their appearances are carefully planned, their words measured, their actions observed. At home, however, those expectations soften. Here, they are simply parents and children navigating everyday life, celebrating small victories, managing challenges, and building relationships. The memory wall becomes a bridge between these two worlds, a reminder that behind public roles are private lives. The reason this hidden detail has captured such widespread attention is not because it is unique, it is because it is familiar. Across cultures and countries, families create their own versions of memory walls. Whether through photo albums, drawings on refrigerators, or keepsake boxes, the intention is the same: to hold on to moments that matter, to create a sense of continuity, to remind ourselves of where we've been and who we are. Seeing this reflected in a royal home creates a powerful connection. It reminds people that despite differences in status, certain values are universal. For Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, the memory wall is not a symbol, it is simply part of their environment. It is where their efforts are displayed, where their voices are acknowledged, where their presence is felt. As they grow older, they may come to understand its significance more deeply. They may look back at those early drawings and notes as markers of their childhood, and perhaps in time they will carry this tradition forward in their own lives. In choosing to create a home defined by simplicity and meaning, William and Catherine are quietly shaping a legacy, not one built on grandeur, but on values, not one defined by appearance, but by experience. Their Windsor home may be valued at $16 million, but its true worth lies in the life it holds within. As this story continues to unfold, it leaves behind a simple yet profound message. The most meaningful aspects of a home are often the ones that go unnoticed. A drawing on a wall, a note written in a child's handwriting, a shared moment captured in a small, quiet space. Inside William and Kate's Windsor home, these details are not hidden because they are insignificant. They are hidden because they are personal. As the story of William and Catherine's Windsor home continues to resonate across the world, it becomes increasingly clear that what captivates people is not the price tag, the location, or even the royal connection. It is the meaning embedded within the space. Homes, regardless of status, are reflections of priorities, and in this case, the priorities are unmistakable: family, stability, emotional connection, and authenticity. The 16 million valuation may define the property in financial terms, but it does not define its essence. That essence lies in the quiet choices: the decision to keep things simple, the decision to center the home around the children, the decision to preserve memories in a visible, meaningful way. These choices speak louder than any architectural feature ever could. One of the most remarkable aspects of Adelaide Cottage is that it is not treated as a static, perfect space, it evolves. As the children grow, their needs change, their interests shift, their personalities develop, and the home adapts alongside them. The memory wall itself is not fixed. New drawings replace old ones. Notes are added, rearranged, sometimes even removed and stored away for safekeeping. It is a living feature, constantly changing, just like the family it represents. This fluidity is intentional. It's not about preserving things exactly as they are, a source explained. It's about allowing the home to move with life. That philosophy creates an environment where nothing feels frozen or overly curated. Instead, everything feels alive. If one were to describe the Windsor residence not in terms of rooms and design, but in terms of emotional architecture, it would look something like this: safety in its private setting, warmth in its shared spaces, expression in its children's corners, continuity in its daily routines, memory in its hidden details. This is what truly defines the home, not marble floors or grand staircases, but feelings. And in many ways, this emotional architecture is far more difficult to create than any physical structure. William and Catherine's approach to their home mirrors their broader approach to royal life. They are not rejecting tradition, but they are reshaping it. Instead of emphasizing distance and formality, they are emphasizing connection and relatability. Instead of presenting perfection, they are embracing authenticity. Their home becomes an extension of this identity. It sends a quiet message that modern royalty can exist without losing touch with everyday human experience. Both William and Catherine bring personal experiences into how they shape their home. Prince William has often reflected on the importance of emotional support during childhood, something he experienced strongly through his mother, Princess Diana. That influence is visible in the way he prioritizes closeness with his own children. Catherine, on the other hand, grew up in a family environment often described as grounded and supportive. Her understanding of home is rooted in warmth, routine, and shared experiences. Together, they blend these influences into a parenting style and a home environment that feels both intentional and natural. The memory wall again becomes a symbol of that blend. It reflects Diana's emphasis on emotional connection. It reflects Catherine's appreciation for family centered living. In a world that often celebrates the grand and the extraordinary, there is something quietly powerful about a small detail becoming the most meaningful part of a story. The memory wall is not expensive. It is not rare. It is not designed to impress. And yet, it is the detail that people remember. Why? Because it represents something universal. It reminds people of their own homes, their own children, their own memories, their own small moments that carry deep meaning. It creates a bridge between royalty and everyday life, and in doing so, it transforms curiosity into connection. As the story has spread, reactions have not been driven by fascination alone, they have been driven by emotion. Parents have shared their own versions of memory walls. Families have reflected on the importance of preserving childhood moments. Observers have expressed appreciation for seeing a more personal side of royal life. This response highlights something important. People are not just interested in royalty, they are interested in humanity. And when those two intersect, the impact is far greater. There is perhaps an unspoken lesson within this story that the value of a home is not measured in square footage or financial worth, but in the life it holds. That the most important details are often the simplest ones. That children do not remember perfection, they remember presence. That memories, once created, become the foundation of identity. William and Catherine may not have set out to make a statement with their Windsor home, but in the way they have shaped it, they have done exactly that. As the years pass, the Windsor home will continue to change. The children will grow older. The drawings on the wall will become more complex, then eventually fewer. The routines will shift as responsibilities increase, but the foundation will remain. The values embedded in that home, connection, support, love, will carry forward into whatever paths the children choose. And perhaps one day, those children will create homes of their own, shaped by the same principles. Some stories fade quickly, others linger. This is one of those that lingers, not because of its scale, but because of its sincerity. It offers a glimpse into a world that is often distant and reveals something unexpectedly familiar: a family, a home, a wall filled with memories. Nothing extraordinary, and yet everything meaningful. Inside William and Kate's 16 million Windsor home, the most touching detail is not something you can measure or replicate, it is something you feel. It lives in the small corners, the shared spaces, the everyday moments that define a family. It exists in the laughter of children, the care of parents, and the quiet decision to hold on to what truly matters. And perhaps that is why this story has touched so many hearts. Because in the end, it is not really about royalty at all. It is about home.